Good morning, America. Dangerous flooding and heat, new safety measures in the NFL, and the 101-year-old pilot flying high. Dangerous historic rainfall in the Midwest. The Milwaukee Fire Department responding to over 600 calls for help. A monsoon mess in a domed baseball stadium. The Wisconsin State Fair washed out.
Those are cars completely underwater.
Winds up to 90 miles per hour, battering Nebraska. The roof of this prison blown off. And overnight, people wading through the streets of Mexico City. This morning, the new flash flood threats right now and the dangerous heat on both coasts. Ginger is tracking it all.
President Trump threatens a federal takeover of the nation's capital. This morning, new video of federal agents deployed across D.C.
New details on the deadly shooting in Atlanta. Gunfire striking the CDC building, killing a police officer. What we're learning about the suspect and what sources say he said about the COVID vaccine.
Safety as football fans head back to the stadium in the wake of the mass shooting at NFL offices. How the league is stepping up security protocols.
Labubu scams. The new warning for fans of the year's It item. And the expert who says she got scammed herself tells us how to spot the fakes.
Counterfeit life jacket warning.
We take a closer look at what is inside this jacket. It says intended use. First of all, intended is spelled wrong.
What one mom discovered about her son's life jacket and how to know if yours is U.S. Coast Guard approved. Geo's diving in.
Crash landing. The NASCAR driver whose celebration after winning sent him to the hospital.
Plus,
and the kick is good. Can you believe it?
The 70-yard field goal, the longest ever. But why it won't make it into the record book.
We could be heroes.
And there's no place like home.
And with that first pitch, Jim Powell has officially made history.
This morning, what's heading to the Baseball Hall of Fame? Plus, the World War II pilot taking a victory lap at 101 years young and alongside his granddaughter as we fly into Monday.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning.
Glad to be with both of you. We have a lot of news to get to, including the countdown to the high-stakes summit between President Trump and Vladimir Putin.
But we begin with that historic rainfall in the Midwest. Ginger is standing by, tracking the new flooding threats and the dangerous heat on both coasts.
But first, Alex Perez starts us off in Milwaukee, which was hard hit over the weekend, and he's got a glimpse of the damage. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. It was a nightmare of a weekend for so many here in Wisconsin. Some areas got up to 14 inches of rain. And I want you to take a look right next to me here. You can see this road is completely collapsed. Just one of the many problems created by all of that rain.
Overnight, heavy rainfall and flooding in Mexico City. People wading through waters in the flooded streets. This all coming after a weekend of historic rainfall in the Midwest. In Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, the heavy rain causing this road to collapse and wash away. This driver accidentally driving into the mangled mess, his car flipping over.
My car just dropped and it fell, and I was just like shocked, like what's going on, like I'm going down.
He told our affiliate WISN that he jumped from the top of his car to solid ground, a couple nearby helping him get to safety. In Milwaukee County, up to a foot of rain falling.
Those are cars completely underwater.
The Milwaukee Fire Department responding to over 600 calls for help.
They drove their cars into the water and they couldn't get out.
In Nebraska, the powerful storms turning deadly as winds up to 90 miles per hour battered parts of the state. One woman killed after a tree toppled onto this car. In Lincoln, hundreds of prison inmates were displaced after the roof was blown off of two housing units. Daylight showing the extent of the destruction.
Now, thankfully, authorities here say no one was killed, but the Milwaukee area is bracing for possibly more rain tonight. Rebecca?
Yeah, thankfully no one was injured. Those are some images. Okay, Alex, thanks so much. We're going to go now to Ginger with the forecast, including the extreme heat moving east. But first, those new flash flood threats.
And
Good
that's
morning.
the thing. Good morning, Rebecca. Flash flooding happens in the streets. It goes away quickly, but then the rivers take it on. And that's what's happened at the Fox River. This is in Waukesha, Wisconsin, so just west of Milwaukee. It rose to 8 feet. It will crest later this afternoon and could get close there to records. So elevated flash flood risk now from parts of Missouri back through Oklahoma and into the panhandle of Texas, but also over here from Charleston and Myrtle Beach up to Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where you could end up with 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates. That's hanging out along the front in the middle of the country that's kind of dividing us. But the record heat comes with the ridge to the east. And that's where I wanted to just point out some of the daily records that could fall from Burlington tomorrow at 93, Caribou, Maine up in the mid 90s, and Manchester at 97. So Portland is out of the advisory, Maine, but Portland, Oregon has an advisory and an extreme heat warning, actually, which I'll tell you about all the heat there down to Phoenix.
So many extremes across the country. All right, Ginger, thank you. We turn now to President Trump speaking this morning on crime in Washington, D.C. and a plan to make the streets safer. This is statistics show violent crime in the city is at a 30-year low, and officials in D.C. say the crime is down 25% from last year. Our senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House this morning. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, Lindsay, good morning to you. And data shows that violent crime has been dropping here in Washington, D.C., but the president says that is not enough. He's now threatening a federal takeover of the nation's capital and deploying hundreds of federal law enforcement officers.
This morning, President Trump threatening a federal takeover of the nation's capital, preparing to announce new steps to address crime and homelessness in Washington, D.C. The president posting on social media that his plan will end the crime, murder, and death in our nation's capital, adding the city only gets dirtier and less attractive. It comes as the administration ramps up its federal law enforcement presence. Sources say 120 FBI agents have been dispatched, along with officials from the ATF, Secret Service, and Park Police. Agents spotted over the weekend patrolling the streets of D.C. and making arrests. ABC News learning U.S. officials are also considering activating members of the D.C. National Guard. The president has accused crime in Washington of spiraling out of control. But D.C. police data shows crime in the nation's capital is down 7% since last year, with violent crime dropping 26% and property crime down 5%.
We are not experiencing a crime spike.
D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser this weekend defending the work local officials have done to drive down crime, saying that she spoke with Trump about the issue.
I've talked to him about crime repeatedly, including in my first meeting with him after he was elected. So the president is very aware of our efforts.
And President Trump started to ramp up his criticism after a former DOJ staffer was injured in an attempted carjacking last weekend. The last time that President Trump deployed the National Guard, it was 2020 amid the outrage and protests over the killing of George Floyd. Rebecca.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We are going to turn now to President Trump's meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin this week for that high-stakes talk about the war in Ukraine. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz has the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Rebecca. President Trump had wanted a trilateral meeting with Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky, but Putin nixed that idea. So on Friday, he will meet one-on-one with President Trump.
This morning, President Trump preparing for a historic and high-stakes summit with Vladimir Putin, inviting the Russian president to U.S. soil for the first time in nearly 10 years.
I think my instinct really tells me that we have a shot at it. We have a shot at it. Look, it's got to be solved.
The president has already suggested any deal would involve, quote, swapping of territories, something Volodymyr Zelensky has made clear he will not do, saying Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. But the Ukrainian president is left on the sidelines of this week's meeting, several European leaders, including France, Germany, and the UK, issuing a joint statement insisting the path to peace in Ukraine cannot be decided without Ukraine. For weeks, Putin has ignored repeated warnings from Trump to stop the violence. The president losing patience, giving Russia until last Friday to agree to a ceasefire or face sanctions and secondary tariffs. But now he is meeting with Putin instead.
Friday will be important because it will be about testing Putin, how serious he is on bringing this terrible war to an end.
Zelensky questioning whether Putin wants to end the fighting, writing, "There has been no real step from Russia towards peace. That is why sanctions are needed."
There certainly haven't been any signs of peace in Russia's war on Ukraine. Overnight, Russia launching a swarm of armed drones into Ukraine, killing 7 people and injuring dozens more. Michael?
Definitely hadn't slowed down, Martha. Thank you so much for that. Now to the war in the Middle East, and the UN holding an emergency meeting to discuss Israel's plan to seize control of Gaza City. Our chief international correspondent, James Long, may have the latest. And James, Israel is facing criticism for a strike on a group of journalists overnight.
Good morning, Michael. Yes, overnight, a single Israeli airstrike killed 6 journalists in Gaza, among them Anas al-Sharif, a very prominent Al Jazeera correspondent with a huge online following. Israel calls him a terrorist. His network denies that claim. International outcry is growing this morning after Israel killed multiple journalists in a tent outside a Gaza City hospital. It's believed to be the biggest single attack on journalists since October 7th. The Israeli airstrike killed Anas al-Sharif, a prominent Al Jazeera correspondent, another reporter, 2 cameramen and 2 other freelancers. Israel claims al-Sharif supported Hamas terror attacks. These are allegations Al Jazeera has vehemently denied. The Committee to Protect Journalists has condemned the attack and says Israel has yet to provide evidence to support its allegations. They say 180 journalists have been killed since October 7th. This is as Israel is pressing ahead with its plan for a military occupation of Gaza City.
Given Hamas's refusal to lay down its arms, Israel has no choice but to finish the job and complete the defeat of Hamas.
At an emergency UN meeting, the international community lined up in opposition. They say it will displace thousands of Palestinians and risk the safety of the hostages still in captivity. Only the US is standing by Israel's plan. This is as the humanitarian crisis inside Gaza grows worse. Hamas says 100 children have now starved to death since the war began. For days, aid has been deployed from the air. Airdrops that humanitarian groups have warned are unsafe and inefficient. This video shows a balcony collapse under the weight of one of the pallets. It injured at least 9 people. Also this morning, Australia has become the latest country to say it will recognise a Palestinian state. They follow the UK, France and Canada, all hoping to pressure Israel into accepting a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Lindsay.
All right, James, thank you. Now to new details on the shooting outside the CDC headquarters that left a police officer dead. Officials are now identifying the suspect, and we're learning more about the possible motive behind the attack. Faith Abube is there on the scene for us this morning. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Lindsay. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News that a preliminary assessment shows that the suspect blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him sick and depressed. And this morning, as a result of this deadly shooting, more than 10,000 CDC employees here in these offices in Atlanta and across the entire nation being told to stay away from the office as law enforcement officials continue to assess any potential further threats.
This morning, the CDC telling employees that the shooting that killed a police officer and damaged several of its buildings was a targeted attack. Just before 5 p.m. Friday, multiple gunshots reported at a CVS on Emory University's campus, across from the CDC headquarters main entrance. The gunfire striking at least 4 CDC buildings.
Everyone just screaming, go, go, like everyone's hands out the window, like just keep going. You can literally hear the gunshots like flying over our head.
Law enforcement sources telling ABC News 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him sick and depressed, though medical experts say the vaccine is safe and effective.
He was just walking around the store, just shooting. We were just laying there wondering when it was going to stop.
And overnight, a CVS employee who helped others hide in the store speaking out, detailing to ABC affiliate WSB the terror they felt inside as the suspected gunman prowled the store. When it was finally over, officers telling them it was safe to come out.
Shell cases, like they didn't want us to trip on the shell case, and there was so many.
Outside the CDC gates, a growing memorial for the fallen officer, David Rose. Police say the suspect killed him as he was responding to the active shooter call.
I would now like to introduce the class leader for Class 138,
David Rose.
Rose, a Marine veteran with 2 children and a pregnant wife, speaking at his police academy graduation in March.
It's about protecting the vulnerable, standing for justice, and being the person who runs towards danger when others run away.
And Michael, that officer's pregnant wife telling ABC News in a statement that she is devastated by his death and that he was her rock, her best friend, the love of her life, and an amazing father. No funeral plans have been announced. Michael.
Our thoughts are with her and the family. Thank you so much for that, Faith. We're going to turn now to baseball history. The first woman to umpire a game in the majors. And our Janae Norman is here now with what Jen Powell is saying about the experience. Good morning, Janae.
Good morning, Michael. So usually officials, they're trying to have as little impact on the game as possible. But this was historic for both Jen Powell and the MLB, an experience that she says she is grateful for.
And with that first pitch, Jen Powell has officially made history.
This morning, a major first for Major League Baseball. Jen Powell becoming the first female umpire in league history.
Yep, they are going to authenticate it. And Jen Powell will forever get to keep that ball.
Calling balls and strikes behind home plate during Sunday's game between the Atlanta Braves and Miami Marlins.
Joey Wentz likes that first call from Jim Powell. Powell punching out Stowers.
After 10 years and 1,200 minor league games, Powell getting her first crack at Major League action during Saturday's doubleheader.
Just incredible. Like dream came true. Like the dream actually came true today.
As she took the field, the crowd holding signs of support. One saying, "Welcome to the show, Jen."
It was pretty amazing when we took the field, and it seemed like quite a few people started clapping and saying my name and stuff, so that was pretty intense.
Miami's manager praising Powell.
And Jen did a really nice job. I think she seemed very composed back there. She handled and managed the game very well, and a big day for her, big day for Major League Baseball.
The hat she wore already heading to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
It's just fuel for the fire. I'm going to go out there and work harder tomorrow and just keep it going.
So she started in the minor leagues nearly a decade ago, worked in the AAA championship game in 2023 and in spring training games last year and this year before being called up, and she received high marks from the players and managers on her weekend performance.
She earned it.
Yes. She did.
Plain and simple.
Great.
Love it.
Very cool.
Love it. All right. Inspiring.
And I didn't mess up because right before the camera came to me, Michael said, "Don't mess up." So thank you for that, Michael. I
was just trying to encourage you. Friend to friend.
Thank you.
You threw me under the bus. All right. Let's go to Will Reeve, who's here with some changes by the NFL, Will.
I am, yeah. So we're just weeks away from the start of the season. The league is making changes to its safety protocols after that tragic, deadly shooting in the NFL's building.
Also ahead, the new warning about counterfeit life jackets. Gio Benitez has the details. A lot of parents need to pay attention.
Yeah, Lindsay, if you do anything by the water, you've got to pay attention here. One mom found something scary when she bought a life jacket online for her young son. So I went to the experts and took a dive myself.
Thank you, Gio. We are interested to hear what you had to see there.
Coming up, we have the fast food forecast and a possible sign of trouble ahead, but more value menus. We'll be right back.
On my computer, I go online.
Welcome.
And my breath catches in my chest until I hear 3 little words. You got mail.
You got back to GMA. Yes, You've Got Mail, starring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Well, this morning, there's big news about one of the stars in that movie, AOL. We're going to have it all coming up in Pop News. You know, some of that movie was filmed on the Upper West Side at a restaurant that had really good desserts. And that was the first place I went to when I moved to New York. I'm going there, based on the movie.
All right, but first, new at 7:30, another scare at one of the nation's busiest airports. A Delta plane clipped the wing of another plane at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. A Delta Boeing 757 was pulling out of the gate, heading to Guatemala with nearly 200 people on board when Delta says it hit an empty Airbus 350. Fortunately, no one was injured. Also, NASCAR driver Connor Zilisch getting over a broken collarbone this morning. Suffered after he won a race over the weekend at Watkins Glen. Zilisch fell as he was climbing out of his car during the post-win celebration in Victory Lane. Zilisch says that he's doing okay, but it's unclear whether he'll be able to drive 2 weeks from now in the next Xfinity race at Daytona.
Man, that looked painful.
Sure did. That's the celebration now.
Yeah, well, hopefully he gets better soon. Gets back in the car. And there it is, my buddy, Justin Rose, the 45-year-old golfer, won the FedEx St. Jude Championship, rallying late and winning in a playoff against some tough competition. He's the oldest winner on the PGA Tour since Phil Mickelson. Now we're going to go to the NFL, who is ramping up security at stadiums and team facilities following that shooting targeting league headquarters in New York City. Will Reeve is here now with more on that. Good morning again.
Good morning, Michael. Hi, everyone. So this is a big deal. With the revelation that the perpetrator of that horrific shooting in Midtown Manhattan late last month was allegedly targeting NFL headquarters, the league is recommending new safety measures to its teams as the preseason begins. Writing in a memo obtained by ESPN, quote, "In moments like these, we are reminded that safety is not a background function. It is foundational."
This morning, as football fever ramps up with the NFL preseason underway,
firing, got it, touchdown!
The NFL is stepping up its security protocols, aimed at keeping players and staff safe in the wake of the mass shooting that killed 4 people in the building that's home to the NFL's offices, with league headquarters allegedly the target. According to a new memo sent to all 32 teams and obtained by ESPN, the NFL recommending 3 changes: updated threat assessments to identify risks, armed law enforcement or security officers at team and league facilities, and weapons screenings to enter those locations, similar to game day procedures.
The NFL now is putting even more of an emphasis on security, stepping it up to an even higher level than it already was, and that's going to be across the league, not only from league offices on Park Avenue in New York City, but to every team's training facility spanning across this country.
The heightened measures come as the players return to the field, with Week 1 less than a month away.
There he goes! Oh, there he goes!
New England Patriots rookie Travion Henderson turning on the boosters the first time he touched the ball in an NFL game, returning the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown. Jacksonville Jaguars kicker Cam Little drilling a 70-yard field goal, which would have been an NFL record had it been a regular season game.
And the kick is good. Can you believe it?
And here's one for the blooper reel. Dallas Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb not playing in the Cowboys' first preseason game, but still in the middle of the action. Here he is getting decked by a referee chugging downfield. Lamb laughing it off, but the Cowboys getting a penalty for interfering with an official.
And so CeeDee's the one that's being penalized here for the Cowboys' sideline infraction.
And in one of the most highly anticipated debuts of the preseason, Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders seizing his moment against the Carolina Panthers.
Touchdown!
Completing 14 of 23 passes and throwing for 2 touchdowns.
I think we've seen rookie quarterbacks so far steal the show. Most notably, Shedeur Sanders had a tremendous debut. There are a handful of young quarterbacks around the league this year that franchises are counting on to come through for them.
Speaking of counting, just 24 days to go until the first regular season game of the NFL season. Yeah. Great to see all the action on the field and those important measures taken by the league to keep everyone safe.
I love when football starts because it means other people get beat up, not me.
It means you're busy.
I love it. I'm busy, but I love it. There's nothing like it.
Well, prepare to shut your ears off for this one, Michael, because we're going to a warning from the Better Business Bureau about one of the summer's hottest toys, the Labubu's.
No.
Yes.
That ain't so.
And they're on a lot of wish lists, maybe not Michael's, but on a lot of them, and scammers are seizing on the trend. Stephanie Ramos is here with this story. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Rebecca. Michael, you know you want one. Labubu's are in. They're the latest toy craze that range in price from $20 to $30. And online, you'll see them selling for 3 times that price or more. And rare Labubu's have resold for as much as $16,000. But are you getting a real one or a fake?
What did I get, y'all?
It's the plush designer toy that's become the must-have item of the year.
They're so adorable.
Everyone clamoring for Labubu's, from tweens to adults, even stars like Lizzo.
Can't even outdress my Labubu.
The little accessories produced by Beijing-based toy maker Pop Mart fueling a $1 billion industry. But with their ever-growing popularity, the Better Business Bureau warns scammers too, who now want a piece of the pie. And would-be victims should be on high alert.
People are searching or they're scrolling and they see somebody that claims that they have the item. So they're purchasing it. They're waiting a few weeks and then they're not getting anything or they're getting something that's fake.
According to BBB's Scam Trammer, there would have been more than 80 reported instances of people purchasing what they thought were real Labubus, seen here, that in reality turned out to be counterfeits, like these, better known as Lafufus.
It's kind of scary looking.
This Lafufu Caitlin Bond bought came from a local store.
Her name is Scamantha, like Samantha, but because she was a scam, it's Scamantha.
The box Scamantha came in even had a QR code taking buyers to the Pop Mart website, but the toy, clearly not the real one.
So this one's pretty stationary, like the head and everything doesn't move. This one, the head is very loose on it and the head spins all the way around. The hands spin, the feet are not supposed to do that. It's also like very large compared to this one, like they're supposed to be the same size.
The BBB says shoppers should take protective steps to ensure they don't get ripped off, including shopping from reputable retailers, using caution when clicking sponsored ads, and if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
And if you are purchasing a Labubu, make sure you're using a secure payment method like a credit card. You'll have a bit of recourse to possibly get your money back if you'd like to. I feel like I just like saying the word Labubu.
Yes.
Like let's just use it.
It just rolls
We're going
off
to
the
break
tongue.
Labubu.
It's a verb.
Yes, exactly.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. Now, with an important summertime safety alert about counterfeit life jackets, Gio Benitez is here with a must-see demonstration and what you need to look for before you buy. This is something that many people wouldn't even think of.
Listen, I promise you, there's a very good chance you've never heard any of this information before. And it turns out that not all life jackets are the same. So this morning right here on GMA, I go through the testing myself to figure out how to keep all of us safe.
I end up picking a life jacket that has the most 5-star reviews.
Ali Wojak of Chicago says she bought what she thought was an approved life jacket online for her son.
Intended use. First of all, intended is spelled wrong.
Only to find out it was likely counterfeit, making it unclear if it was even safe to use.
As a parent, obviously my son's safety is at the utmost importance. And I really thought that I was, I'm buying this product to protect him.
The U.S. Coast Guard approves life jackets. The agency allows manufacturers to submit their products to certified testing labs to make sure that they meet certain specifications. If the jacket is approved, it will have a U.S. Coast Guard approved label and number listed, but they warn to be on the lookout for counterfeits.
I have seen it on social media. I have seen it on different online digital shopping where people buy something called a life jacket, but you can really end up getting a life jacket that is not going to provide the buoyancy and the life-saving that it needs.
This is one of the most important safety devices in the world.
UL Solutions is one of only 2 labs in the world approved to test life jackets.
There's a number of different standards, but what our team looks for, first of all, how quickly can you get it on? And then you need to test for fit and comfort. You don't want to slip out of it. You don't want it to float away.
Right, it's not one size fits all.
It is not one size fits all.
UL giving GMA a behind-the-scenes look at its rigorous testing. Here we go. First up, the emergency donning test to see how quickly you can put on the device.
Done. All right, 13.75, which is a very, very fast donning time.
So ideally, how quickly do you want to get this on?
We want to see that the subject is able to don the device within 60 seconds.
Next, the water entry test.
We're going to have you walk all the way to the edge of the platform,
where I jump into the water with my hands above my head to see if the jacket stays on. It's still on. The series of tests also include flotation stability.
And that's 90 millimeters.
So it has to be above 50 millimeters.
Above 50 millimeters to pass.
You can still breathe.
Yes.
If you're unconscious.
Yes, so you can breathe, your vision isn't impeded.
And the self-righting test.
Go! Awesome. 0.71.
And water emergence. While my jacket passed the test, UL says that's not always the case.
Our experience is that 30% of the flotation devices that are brought to our labs do not pass those initial tests.
UL says it then works with the manufacturer to fix any issues to make sure that the product you're buying is safe. All right, so how do you know what you're buying is safe? Well, let me show you right here. So I've opened up this jacket right here. The first thing you want to look for is that U.S. Coast Guard approval. So it's right there, USCG approved. It has the manufacturer number as well. If there's a spelling mistake, obviously, that's a red flag. It may not be safe. Now, there's also, next to that Coast Guard label there, you also have the UL logo. So that is the testing lab. UL has a database online where you can double check to make sure that it is certified. It is critical to look for this. It's also really easy.
Yeah. I have two kids' jackets at home right now. I'm going to go home and check them after this.
Yeah, most
As
people,
so many are going to.
Yeah, most people would never look at the label. Now you know. You should.
right.
Thank you, Gio. Now with our play of the day, and the World War II veteran pilot taking a victory lap. Gio, you have this great story.
I love this story so much. At 101 years young, Joseph Peterburs took flight over Northern California in the P-51 Mustang plane he piloted more than 8 decades ago. Joseph completed 49 combat missions during World War II. Here's what he had to say.
It brings back 80 years of memories, of my memories when I was a young devil-may-care youth of 19 years old flying this aircraft. It was really a joy.
Sir, you are still young in spirit. Yes, you are. He has also recently went back to England to take a victory lap where he flew over his old base 80 years to the day that his plane was shot down. Joseph also flew 76 combat missions during the Korean War, promoted to colonel in 1969, retired in 79. And during that California flight, his granddaughter was flying in one of those planes.
And he still rocks that bomber jacket.
Yeah,
Just makes it look cool, no matter how old.
We're happy he had a great time doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
We're living that. I mean, coming up, Julianne and Derek Hough, they are here with the latest on their new dance tour. Plus, they come with a big surprise. We'll be right back. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Dangerous historic rainfall in the Midwest. The Milwaukee Fire Department responding to over 600 calls for help. And overnight, people wading through the streets of Mexico City. This morning, the new flash flood threats right now and the dangerous heat on both coasts. Ginger is tracking it all.
Fast food free fall? Sales softening at some of your favorite chains, especially for breakfast. What it all means.
Allison Stoner pulling back the curtain.
What I wasn't prepared for was then walking outside and suddenly the world having access to me.
The child star and dancer says their childhood was over at 9 and what Stoner is doing to protect future stars.
And they get a 10 from us. Derek and Julianne Hough are keeping us on our toes ahead of the new season of Dancing with the Stars, as they say.
Good morning, America! Hey!
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America.
Oh, good morning, America. We always look forward to catching up with Julianne and Derek. You're always a lot of fun.
Learn some new dance moves
Yeah,
today?
a little something, you know, do a little stanky leg. And Linsey, we have something for you. You're our resident runner here at the desk.
Looking forward to this segment. Yes, I am kind of a sneakerhead. The winners of the Self Sneaker Awards with the top picks for everything from walking to exercising and more. It's all coming up.
And also ahead, we are so excited about the new Spike Lee movie, Highest to Lowest. Two of the stars are here live, Jeffrey Wright and A$AP Rocky. Don't call him ASAP. That's not right. A$AP Rocky.
It's been done. But we're going to begin with the historic rainfall in the Midwest. We're going to go back to Alex Perez near Milwaukee, which was hard hit over the weekend. Good morning again, Alex.
Hey, good morning once again, Michael. I want you to take a look right next to me here. You can see this road completely collapsed because of all that water. Some areas got more than a foot of rain.
Overnight, heavy rainfall and flooding in Mexico City. People wading through waters in the flooded streets. This all coming after a weekend of historic rainfall in the Midwest. In Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, the heavy rain causing this road to collapse and wash away. This driver accidentally driving into the mangled mess, his car flipping over.
My car just dropped and it fell, and I was just like shocked, like what's going on, like I'm going down.
He told our affiliate WISN that he jumped from the top of his car to solid ground
In Milwaukee County, up to a foot of rain falling.
Those are cars completely underwater.
In Nebraska, the powerful storms turning deadly as winds up to 90 miles per hour battered parts of the state. One woman killed after a tree toppled onto this car.
And thankfully, authorities say no one was killed in all of this. The Milwaukee area is now bracing for possibly more rain tonight. Lindsay?
All right, Alex, thank you. Let's bring in Ginger with the dangerous heat and flooding. Good morning again, Ginger.
Hey, good morning, Lindsay. So as we know, the flash flooding goes away and then the rivers fill up. And so the Fox River at Waukesha, Wisconsin is forecast to get to that record flood stage or tie it by later this evening. So we'll still see that happening, which would be the third highest crest. We also have elevated flash flood risk from the plains through Missouri there into the southeast. So Charleston and Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, all included with some storms falling today. 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates. Those are level 2 out of 4. So remember, that's coming along the stationary front. And then we've got this division here, that front that's bringing all the flooding in the plains, a ridge out west and a ridge to the east. And so records will fall, daily records possible, from Burlington, Vermont, up through Caribou. Look at Manchester, New Hampshire, could get to 97 tomorrow. New York will stay in the upper 80s, low 90s. And just want to put it out there, you see extreme heat warnings quite a bit in the southwest in the summer, from Las Vegas to Phoenix. But up into Portland, Oregon, we're talking about numbers as high as 105 to start the week here, Michael.
Hot one. All right, Ginger, thank you so much for that. Now, to sales at some fast food giants. Rebecca, what are the latest numbers at these fast food giants hinting at?
Yeah, one of the really telling signs right now, Michael, is that people are skipping breakfast out, and eating out, especially in the morning, is one of the first things people cut back on when they are financially stretched. We've been hearing from a lot of fast food giants recently, including Wendy's, KFC, Pizza Hut, and Popeyes, who all say same-store sales were down from the first 3 months of the year. The good news here for consumers, McDonald's is showing some signs of improvement because they are rolling out some new value and menu offerings. That essentially means more value menus, more menu offerings for people out there who are looking for that better discount, that better opportunity.
That is good to know. I think that breakfast is actually the easiest meal to make at home, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, come
Scramble
on,
an egg.
You're more than welcome to bring some in here if you think that's the case. I'll welcome it.
Coming up at our GMA morning menu, former child star Allison Stoner takes us behind the scenes of her life as a child star.
Michael, did you eat your Wheaties this morning? Also ahead, why Tom Holland says the upcoming Spider-Man movie is unlike any other. That is in pop news.
Yeah, more in the Frosted Flakes. Plus, Jeffrey Wright and A$AP Rocky are here to talk about the new Spike Lee joint, Highest to Lowest. And Julianne and Derek Hough can't stop dancing. They're going to tell us about their new tour in the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars. That's all coming up right here on this Monday GMA.
Look at that beautiful day. We are back now with our GMA cover story. Cheaper by the dozen, and camp rock star Allison Stoner has a new memoir called Semi-Well-Adjusted Despite Literally Everything, that's giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the life of a child star in Hollywood. And Jacqueline Lee spoke with Stoner. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Rebecca, good morning. So great to be here. Early 2000s nostalgia is having a moment, and this book is showing the sacrifices Allison Stoner says it took to be a child star during that time. Now in their 30s, Stoner is looking to make an impact and demand change for current child actors.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
You'll remember Allison Stoner dancing in that unforgettable Missy Elliott music video. Or
Open Meat Bucket.
From blockbuster franchises like Cheaper by the Dozen and Disney's Camp Rock.
Stop! My spaghetti slipped.
But that child star has grown up and is peeling back the Hollywood curtain in a new tell-all memoir, Semi-Well-Adjusted Despite Literally Everything.
Why did you want to write this book?
If the term semi-well-adjusted despite literally everything isn't the unofficial mood of 2025 for all of us, I don't know what is. I recognized this flurry of memoirs and documentaries focused on high-performing children, former child performers, and now all of the kids who are posted online. And I realized no one had ever unpacked why they seem to have the same kind of downward spirals and challenges. and no one focused on what we could do to intervene.
Now 31 years old, Stoner, detailing moving from the Midwest to LA, auditioning for roles at age 6, and that big break coming at age 9 in the mega hit Missy music video, Work It.
What I wasn't prepared for was then walking outside and suddenly the world having access to me.
You also wrote, I just turned 9, but childhood was over. What did you mean by that?
By the time I was 9, I was no longer in school. I was no longer able to connect with peers. Financially, I was taking on pressures, not necessarily to provide for my entire family, but to make sure that this industry machine and my career kept going.
That's a lot of weight for a 9-year-old to carry.
I would agree, and so would my nervous system.
We laugh, but it was probably very painful.
Well, 20 years of therapy allows me to laugh at that now.
Stoner detailing that fame and success came at a cost, prioritizing countless auditions over a normal childhood, working constantly, and eventually developing an eating disorder before checking into a mental health facility at 17.
I was losing weight, and honestly, had my health not started deteriorating, I don't know if I ever would have unpacked all of these issues.
Stoner, who also works as a mental health practitioner, now hoping to make change for current child actors and influencers, launching a digital course for artists navigating the entertainment industry and demanding industry-wide change.
I also want to see legislation protecting young kids' finances, their right to revoke consent upon turning 18. And so this isn't just about supporting the young artists themselves, it's also about redesigning the environment around them.
Stoner sounded the alarm that the digital environment we live in raises concerns about online safety for child influencers and actors, saying we need better safety protocols in place. Semi-well-adjusted despite literally everything is out tomorrow. Guys.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Now time for Pop News with Will. What you got, bud?
I got a lot. Ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's swing into Pop News this morning. Thanks to Tom Holland, the Marvel superhero, taking to Instagram and sharing an inside look at the first day of production for the highly anticipated 4th movie in the Spider-Man franchise. Filming began earlier this month in Glasgow, Scotland. Tom even opened up about some firsts that he's experiencing. Look at this.
Yeah, I feel good, man. It's day one. My 4th ever day one on Spider-Man. You know, it's funny, putting the suit on, it feels different this time, somehow. It's also the first time we've ever had fans on set for day one, so it's really exciting to share this with them.
Being Tom Holland seems like it would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He recently told reporters that they're leaning into old school filmmaking. They're shooting on location rather than in a soundstage, and Holland says this movie has the energy and feel of the first Spider-Man he made back in 2017. This is his 4th one, and he's calling it a breath of fresh air. Spider-Man: A Brand New Day will hit theaters on July 31st next year.
You gotta stay in shape to wear that suit out.
Yeah, he works out hard, plays a lot of golf. He's got his non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
You got it going.
All right, also in the news this morning, a Camp Rock reunion. The Jonas Brothers kicking off their 20th anniversary tour in their home state of New Jersey last night at MetLife Stadium. They decided to bring out a surprise guest from their Disney days. How about this?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Excellent camera work from @Dom_Proto there. Demi Lovato joining them on stage performing This Is Me and Wouldn't Change a Thing from Camp Rock and Camp Rock 2, the final jam. Now fans hope this might mean this isn't the final jam from the Camp Rock universe. They want a Camp Rock 3. Joe also posted on TikTok, lip syncing to Wouldn't Change a Thing with Demi backstage right there. And this is just the beginning from the Jonas 20 Greetings from Your Hometown tour. The Jonas Brothers are headed to Bristow, Virginia. They have a concert tomorrow night, and the tour goes through November.
And it's a great show. A lot of people on our staff were there last night, including my producer, Gabriella, this morning.
Go. Everybody's coming in a little sleepy on this Monday.
And had a great Sunday.
All right, well, good for them and good for us, because finally this morning we've got some nostalgia for you. Listen to this. Probably been a while since you heard the screeching sound on your computer. Enjoy it while you can, though. AOL has announced they are officially pulling the plug on their dial-up internet service after 34 years. That screech first welcomed us to the World Wide Web in the 90s. It became a household fixture. It was also immortalized on the big screen in the rom-com You've Got Mail. These days, it's mostly used in areas without access to broadband. AOL says its final day will be September 30th. It's the end of an era, but that place that you went to get, what, dessert?
Yeah, Upper West Side. I think it was Cafe Lalo.
Yeah,
I think that was the thing.
Is that still around?
Yeah, I had to go. No, it's not around anymore.
Oh,
but
it went the way of dial-up?
Yes. I'm listening to this 34 years ago. None of you needed it. You guys,
Yeah,
you
I
had dial-up.
I was around.
Dial-up.
There was great excitement.
You were like a 1-year-old using dial-up. Okay, I know you're in advance, Will, but
Middle
come
school,
on.
getting on AIM.
Oh boy, we are stepping out in style and having a lot of fun doing it with the hottest sneakers from this year's Self Sneaker Awards. Editor-in-Chief Jessica Krull joins us with some of the top picks, and they are all shoppable. Jessica, thank you for joining us. And okay, tell me, how does your team come up with what they pick as the best?
So we try about 200 sneakers. I have about 50 editors and trainers testing these shoes, commuting in them, working out in them, running in them, and then we decide which ones are our favorite.
All right, well, you're going to start with the runners. We got a trendy pair here for the runners out there. Let's talk about
Yes,
them.
the Hoka Clifton-Tins. This is the best-selling shoe from Hoka, and they are great for your kind of everyday runs. They're really popular among the crew here, I can see.
Yep.
And they have maximum cushioning. Actually, this version has even more cushioning than the last version. So you're really high up on these, but they're great for people who run with their heel landing first. We call it heel strike runners. So really good for heel strike runners to make sure you have that support.
Lindsay, you a heel strike runner?
Me, because I'm a big fan of Hoka.
You're a big Hoka fan.
Big
We
Hoka
love
fan.
to hear it.
And everybody here, you know, they're on their feet all day here in the studio. That's why they wear these. But these are for someone who's on their feet all day.
Yes, the Rykas are also great for travel days, or if you have an occupation where you're standing a lot.
Really light.
They're so light. They have a lot of cushion in the back. And what I love is the colorways. Like, we love to match an outfit, okay? Functional but fashionable.
Right.
That is important. And these are under $100,
Under
which
$100
also makes them affordable.
A great deal. All right, you put this retro pair on the list.
Yes,
Tell us about
these Reeboks are actually inspired by the Reeboks of the 70s.
Yep.
So you recognize them?
Yeah, I do. Come on now, you know.
It has that vintage.
You know, black don't crack. I am older though.
So this has that vintage air, but it has more cushion than the original. So the tongue is padded, so you don't need any break-in time with these shoes, which is one of the most annoying things about sneakers is break-in time. And the colors are sick.
The colors are on point. I love those. Okay. Those who like to lift.
I'm a
in the
lifter.
gym. Me too.
Okay, I like to step up to the barbell, and I usually step up to the barbell with no shoes on. But these convince me to wear shoes.
Thank you.
Okay, shoes are important for safety reasons.
But no shoes in the gym is kind of nasty
I wear
too.
socks.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I wear socks.
Okay.
Okay, but these are great. These Adidas shoes are great because they have more firm in the back and more cushion in the front. So you really can keep your heel down,
and
it has this frame support. So your ankle doesn't roll, and it's lightweight.
It's so really supportive.
And it's breathable in the front, so you know how your foot sometimes swells?
Yep.
It's gonna accommodate that. So we love this shoe for lifting, if you like to lift, and they're great colors also.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna take these back with me,
you know
so
what?
when y'all don't see these later.
If that was a 14, I would take it with me too. But
We can ask.
I squeeze my foot up in there. Okay, here we go.
Okay, these
Fashionistas.
Yes, so editor's pick is a category that we started this year because sometimes you just need fashionable shoes.
Yep.
You don't need them for function. This shoe is a Converse Classic Chuck 70. They're inspired by the vintage, but guess what? These have arch support. If you wore Converses back in the day, you know them things hurt your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, they're cute, but they hurt. These have orthopedic arch support inside, so you can rock them all day with comfort and style. So these are Editors' picks.
That's why I'm glad you do all the work, because I would have never known that, and I always stayed away from these after, because the feet would hurt after.
Yeah, they do. We love them, but
I got to pick up a pair.
Yeah, get you a pair of those.
Let's get some shoes and go lifting together.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Me and you, Jeff. All right, you don't want to know. All of these shoes, they are shoppable on our website, or you can scan the QR code on your screen and pick yourself up some. All right, coming up, my guy, Jeffrey Wright and A$AP Rocky, they are here to talk about their new movie. We'll be right back with that. So you stay right there. Well, great job.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
I gotta feed the streets, my lady, and a newborn kid. And I ain't trying to go back and do another bid, you dig?
I know what it is to risk everything you have for something that you want. I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
What is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
Welcome back to GMA. That was a look at the trailer from the new Spike Lee movie, Highest to Lowest. And we have two of its stars with us this morning, Tony and Emmy winner Jeffrey Wright and three-time Grammy nominee A$AP Rocky. Gentlemen. Welcome to the show, fella. Welcome to GMA.
Thank
and,
you.
This movie, crime thriller.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington plays a music mogul who has a moral dilemma. And your character, Jeffrey, you kind of play right into that. You're central to that role.
Well, yeah, there is an incident at the beginning of the film, and Denzel is asked to show loyalty to his wealth or loyalty to his friendship. So that's the tension at the start, and we go from there.
And so, A$AP, you play, if I'm not revealing too much, with the kidnapper. So you're opposite Denzel Washington.
You just revealed everything.
Gave it away.
I noticed he was like, well, there's a dilemma, moral dilemma. So you really are opposite Denzel Washington's character in virtually every scene. Spike Lee says that you go toe-to-toe with him. Was it intimidating at all?
Not at all. It was actually fun. I was in awe. I was fanning out. Being with these guys is just, man, they big hitters and very, very inspirational to me, and it was crazy. It was a dream come true.
The biggest hitters you can play with. And Jeffrey, did you give any advice to A$AP along the way about his acting?
A$AP needs no advice from me. We actually done a film prior to this one, a film called Monster, which is the first time that I'd seen him work. That was with John David Washington, with Denzel's son and Calvin Harris. And Rocky just killed it. I mean, he was so dynamic. He's got the whole vibe.
We were checking out the tie. Look at the tie.
He didn't wear that tie in that movie, but he was fantastic. And so he brings that same energy and that same dynamism to this. And opposite Denzel, it's just a wonderful pairing. And they go toe to toe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to ask for fashion advice from A$AP when we're done here. But Jeffrey, you worked with Spike Lee. You had never worked with him before. What was that like?
It was fantastic. I've known Spike for a long time. I live in the neighborhood that he grew up in and where his company, 40 Acres and Mule, is headquartered. We shot a lot of the film in the neighborhood in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. We shot all over the city. But Spike's one of a kind. Yep. The thing that was so amazing about him was shooting throughout the city and seeing not only the love that he has for the city, but the amount of love that the city has for him. Every street corner in this town knows him, welcomes him. It's a beautiful thing. And what he does, I think more so than any other filmmaker, is express that love through his lens. Nobody celebrates New York the way Spike does through his film. Sure. He'll say Scorsese and Sidney Lumet, but Spike, there's just such a joy in the lens as he looks at New York, and we'll see that in this film. It's very much a celebration of the city.
Yeah, you can even see that in the trailer, the snapshots of Wall Street and the other pictures along the way. A$AP, I got to ask you a little bit about Rihanna, your wife, and baby on the way.
Yeah.
How's that? So baby's on the way. You have two little ones, and she starred in the latest Smurfs film. I took my 6-year-old to see it, loved it. Are you going to do any children's movies anytime soon?
Possibly. I was so into it, you know. I got a Smurfette at home, though, so it was, you know, yeah, possibly, for certain. I love the film thing. I mean, it's just like part of the arts, and I'm a Renaissance man. And honestly, going off of what he said earlier, he's being really humble and modest. He actually gave me pointers, Jeffrey. You know, he gave me pointers, he helped me go over lines and had me do, you know, scenes over, but he wouldn't say that. But I got to give him his props. You know, he would coach me through it, and he was like mentoring me throughout the process, and I thank you for that, brother.
Well,
you know?
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
But you got it. You got it, man.
Speaking of that mentorship, you actually play the father and son to your real life son, Elijah, in the movie. What's that like to have that dynamic play out on the screen and watch your son step into that role?
Well, we had a lot of rehearsal. We had 20 years of rehearsal. So, but you know, it was, I couldn't be more proud. He got the role by auditioning with Denzel. Spike came into rehearsal. I had no idea. He said, Elijah's reading with Denzel on Monday. I'm like, okay. And he went in and he did his thing. He got it. But then beyond that, what he did once the cameras rolled was really wonderful. He's been making films since he could, you know, barely hold a camera himself. I'm in one of his early movies,
Wow.
Princess Shoshana and the Night Ghouls. He directed at about 8 years old. I think maybe that'll be in the National Film Registry somewhere. You can find it somewhere out there. But yeah, it was wonderful.
Did he listen to you more in this or at home as a dad?
Does my son listen to me? I am his father, after all. So, no, he does not.
Welcome to the world. We all know how that feels. Hey, but we're happy that both of you are here, man.
Truly.
Thank you. Thank you. This movie's fantastic. Jeffrey, always love having you. ASAP, great having you, man. Congratulations. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you,
That
man.
should be on the way any day soon. And Jeffrey and his son Elijah, they're going to be here on GMA 3. And later, and Denzel Washington, he's going to be here tomorrow. Highest to Lowest is in theaters on Friday and streaming on Apple TV Plus September 5th. Thank you to these two fine gentlemen we got over here.
We are dancing into the week. New Jersey's Studio L Dance Company is here and excited because Derek and Julianne Hough are here. The Triple Threats have won a combined 5 Emmy Awards and 8 Mirrorball trophies on Dancing with the Stars, and now they are ready for the Ovation Dance Tour. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hello.
Okay, we have a great crowd here. Super excited to see you guys this morning. And a lot of people are going to be excited to see you on this Ovation tour. Tickets on sale now. What's different about this than previous shows?
So Ovation is actually one of a kind. We're actually bridging the worlds of ballroom and Latin and the normal contemporary jazz, Broadway, hip-hop. But it's actually designed for studios across the country to come and not only have a show that first night, but also a convention and a competition for these young kids to grow, because we really believe in the next generation of dance. And finally, after all these years of being front and center on stage, all these things, it's time to give back and hopefully encourage and educate the next.
And also, Derek, in this competition, you can win a ring. So it's like winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait, do I?
Can we see it?
Michael, wait, do I happen to have it right here? That's right. 'Cause, you know,
my goodness.
dancers are artistic athletes.
Well, that's a ring.
So it's, you know, like just like the Super Bowl or NBA championship. Come on, man. It might be like a pinky ring for you, but you know.
Hey, there
but
it is.
we want
I gotta
dancers.
find a finger. I don't want to give it back. This is beautiful.
It's gonna be amazing. We wanted to, you know, for us, you know, we look at dancers as athletes, artistic athletes, and you know, they're gonna be taking classes at Ovation, competing. But we have an amazing faculty. You know, we have Talia Favia, Dom Kelly, who choreographed Great Gatsby here on Broadway, Robbie Blue, who is choreographed for you know, Doechii, for all of her tours and for her music videos, Tate McRae. So we have an amazing lineup. It's an incredible experience, 3-day experience, and we want all the dancers to come because we've been on screen performing, but we want to be in the room face to face to teach, to mentor, and to guide the next generation of dancers. So we're excited.
I
And so you guys are going to have a number of the favorites from Dancing with the Stars. Is it true? 16 Mirrorball trophies combined?
That's right.
That's right. We've got Val, Jenna, Mark Ballas. I mean, there's a lot from Dancing with the Stars that you'll be able to see there.
Yeah.
And again, just their expertise and what they have been able to teach their celebrities on the show. They're going to be in that room teaching all these dancers, these kids, and studio owners. So yeah.
And we're going to be taking classes because some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
teachers are honestly
Oh,
incredible. So the first night is a show. Anybody can come watch, anybody can come, be a part of that.
General public.
And then we have workshops the second day, classes,
great.
and then competitions. So it's going to be a full experience.
Michael said he was going to come and teach the stanky leg.
Hey.
Can you give us a little preview right now?
All I got.
Hey.
Hey, I'll break an ankle with a stanky leg now. Get it done.
I love that you guys are bringing this full circle. And Derek, I understand congratulations are in order. You and Haley are expecting.
That's right.
So happy for you.
I'm gonna be a dad. I know the ultimate, right? I mean, it's something I've been dreaming of for so long. Can't wait. I'm excited. I'm gonna be calling Michael about some, advice over here.
Yep.
About some.
Just call me early, so I'll be asleep.
But I'm so excited. You know what I mean? And again, with dancing, again, this another generation of dancers. We're thinking about it. Haley and I met dancing, and so we'll see what.
You're going to start the baby young, do some leg movements.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to both of you for being here with us.
Thank
and
you.
thanks to all of you guys for coming in early this morning. Tickets, there
We
is
do
a
have
giveaway.
surprise.
Yes.
We have a surprise for Studio L. You all are getting tickets to go see Ovation.
That's right. First date is at Chicago.
Chicago,
December 5th to the 7th. So we'll see you guys there.
Amazing. And registration opens on Wednesday. So, anybody else who wants to come and sign up?
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for this. I literally feel like ASAP Rocky right now.
Yes.
I feel like the coolest guy in the building. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
And whoever wins is going to be very, very happy.
It is
I want to give you that
quite the sparkler.
before I forget.
It's blessed with your energy, so that's it's even more valuable
Thank
now.
you, brother.
So this is
Thank you.
Really special.
Thank you, Derek, Julianne. Thank you so much. And tickets for the Ovation Tour go on sale this Wednesday. Thanks so much, guys. Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Over to you, Ginge.
And you know what? I can tell everybody it is amazing what they can teach you in 3 days. I know this from experience, right, guys? I can't wait to see it, y'all. Congratulations on Ovation and more. All right, so now we got to get to something else here. Fans are counting down to the NBA season, and you're going to want to be here tomorrow when we reveal the must-see games for ESPN's NBA Christmas Day and opening week coverage. Christmas is the biggest day of the NBA regular season with all 5 games airing on ESPN and ABC. You don't want to miss it.
Now to an event celebrating Disney Junior and its wonderful programming. Will is back to tell us about that. Hey, Will.
And this is so nice. Disneyland is hosting Disney Junior Let's Play, where kids engage in fun and games and experience some of their favorite heroes. Take a look.
Everybody shout, let's play!
From character meet and greets
1, 2, 3, jump!
to dance parties and more. The fun never stopped at Disney Junior's Let's Play event at Disneyland. Disney welcoming influencers and their families for the celebration.
I'm here with my daughter. She's going crazy. We're in a huge ballroom full of Disney Junior things.
The event the perfect time for Disney Junior to make news about their upcoming shows. Fan favorites returning.
1, 2, 3.
And new shows and specials too, like Spidey and Iron Man Avengers Team Up.
I believe in you.
Plus Avengers Assemble. Your favorite team of heroes is getting their own series, Marvel's Avengers Mightiest Friends. Also racing to screens, a new series featuring some of our Radiator Springs favorites, Cars, Lightning Racers.
And you can catch all the Disney Junior shows on the Disney Junior channel or streaming, of course, on Disney+.
All right. Thank you so much, Will. And coming up, best-selling author Karen Slaughter tells us all about her new book. We are back now with author Karen Slaughter. She's written more than 20 New York Times bestselling books and created the popular Will Trent series with a TV version right here on ABC. She has a new book out tomorrow. We Are All Guilty Here. That also happens to be the title of the book. So welcome to the show. Good morning to you. The title, We Are All Guilty Here, it just kind of draws you in. What do you want us to immediately know about the characters inside this book?
Well, I think, there are all different kinds of levels of guilt, but particularly with this, people who aren't noticing things that are happening or who look the other way. And so there's a certain amount of guilt involved, not only in committing the crime, but knowing the crime is going on and not commenting on it.
And will this be a new book series?
It will. It's the first. I'm working on the
news
second
there.
one now. Yeah.
Great news.
You are a busy writer. Linsey mentioned the Will Trent series. You're still working on that series. It's a fan favorite here at ABC. What can we expect from this new season? You're an executive producer on the show. What else can you tell us?
Well, I mean, I should just start by saying Ramon is amazing as Will Trent.
He was here on the show. Amazing guy, yeah.
Yeah, and I had dinner with them at the cast kickoff on Friday, and they're starting today to do the new season, and there's so many great new ideas. There were so many cliffhangers in that last episode of the season, and they're just picking up where they left off and doing amazing things.
If you take the cover off of the book, it says 25 years, 25 books, a lifetime of stories. What's in store for you the next 25?
Well, hopefully more of a lifetime. I would hope. Writing more books and telling more stories and getting to go out and meet my readers. It's a wonderful life to live. I'm very grateful for it.
Is there anything that you've written and go, that's your favorite?
This is pretty much my favorite right now, but usually it's the last book I love the most. And I love the character of Emmy and her family. There's a whole lot of saga setting here and world building, and that's always fun as a writer to be able to create.
When you're writing now, given Will Trent and all of its success, do you have visions for the actors that will eventually play the roles in these books?
I don't really. I don't think about it in those terms, but, then you get someone like Ramon or Erica Christensen or Sonia Sohn who play these wonderful roles on television, and you think, why didn't I think of that from the very beginning? Because they're just amazing at it.
Most of the time when you're writing a book, are you thinking about it for TV or for the big screen, or sometimes is it just simply for the page turn?
It's for me, actually. And as much as I love my readers and I'm so grateful for them, I never think about them. I just sit down, and it's been the same from the first book to this book. I just want to tell the best story I can tell and learn as a writer and make sure that I'm doing my job of keeping people interested in turning the pages.
Well, and obviously what you're writing for yourself resonates with everybody else, because we all must be thinking the same thing. And we're all guilty of that. But, so it takes you you said about a year to write a book. So that must be some incredible discipline on your part.
Well, yes and no. I mean, when I'm sitting down to write, it is very focused time for me, but, I have to live my life and not be a writer all the time. I get to do stuff like this and go on tour and, be a business lady sometimes, so that's fun. But I just love writing, and everything I do is in service of that, and sitting down in my cabin in North Georgia with just my laptop and the trees and the occasional deer is my happy place.
Is it typically your imagination, or are there sometimes little snippets of reality that you say, I'm going to put that in a book?
Well, you guys know reality is so shocking, especially lately. You couldn't put it in a book, no one would believe it. So it's mostly my imagination, but I always think about the fact that I'm writing about crimes that happen to real people, and real communities are affected by this. And so when I am telling these stories, I want to anchor it in the feeling of this is something that's happening, and why is it happening, and what can we do to stop it?
Karen Slaughter, we thank you so much. We Are All Guilty Here is available tomorrow.
Thank you all for watching us on this Monday morning.
And of course, for more news, you can check out What You Need to Know anytime on Disney+.
Have a great day.
Bye.